Hello, friends. Welcome to Coffee Break. This is Dr. Michele Alignay. I am just so happy to join you this afternoon. I know you've seen that intro video, and I would like to thank my dear friend Nika Assert for making that for me. Thank you, Nika. It's a wonderful way to start Coffee Break with. So, thank you, Nika. I think you've seen that. That's a good trial for me. Congratulations to me for doing everything on my own, my tech, all the things that you see in Coffee Break. I do it on my own. I just have a very good friend, Ryan Salvanera, who just extract everything and put it on Spotify. So join me this afternoon for Coffee Break. We're going to continue our discussion regarding restoring your self-love. Alam ko, the other day we have a very good conversation about this. The other day, it's like, wow, ang daming nanood, ang daming nag-share, at ang daming may hugot. So, I know it's a way for us to almost usher a long weekend. A long weekend na alam natin very meaningful sa ating history, and a long weekend that has a statement to tell in the society that we're having now. A long weekend because it's the anniversary of EDSA that happened when I was in grade 2. So makakompute yung age ko niyan, that it's still very memorable and it still holds true to our history now. So friends, alam ko ang topic natin self-love, but tingnan lang natin yung maraming issue na nangyayari ngayon. One of the questions that somebody asked me recently, can you have so much of self-love? Masasobrahan ka kaya ng self-love? What do you think? Kasi we've been talking about self-love and it's being used in so many platforms, so many campaigns, marketing campaign, so many posts, so many tips, so many strategies, so much of it. But how do we really live with it? How do you really allow it to penetrate your work, penetrate your relationships, especially, and of course, you as a person? So, what do you think? Can you have enough of self love? Can you have so much of it? Can you have excess self love? Meron kayong thoughts about it? Naiisip nyo ba? Naisip nyo na ba? Can I have a lot of self love? Masasobrahan nga kaya ako nito? 'Di ba? So, think about it, friends. Masasobrahan nga ba tayo ng self-love? Napakaganda ng tanong na yon. Personally, ako sa tingin ko, hindi naman tayo masasobrahan. Kasi kung nasobrahan tayo to the point that it's becoming too much about ourselves and not the way we love, the way we live, it's not self-love. It's actually selfishness already. If we are just keeping that self-love to ourselves, at hindi naman natin sinishare, di ba? Parang ang dami mong blessing, hindi mo sinishare. Ang dami mong gamit. Mag-expire ba yan sa sarili mo? Well, pwedeng nakastash lang yan dyan. Pero, nagamit mo ba? Hindi. So, self-love, I believe, is, if it's in excess, if it's too much, it's not self-love. Tama. Anything in excess, it's not good. So, let me just go over with you this continuation. Hindi ko alam, can you share with me, if you were here the other day, ano yung mga bagay that you learned about? Yan. Ano yung mga, what is that word or phrase or something that you remember regarding our topic? That's our first part about restoring our self-love. So, what do you remember the other day? Anybody here who I think I know, I think I have, I recalled it too well, the sinabi mo, Doc, or some insights that you realize. Meron ba? Sarap ng kape. Thank you. Self-love must overflow. Yan. Thank you, Rose. Ganda yan. Self-love must overflow. Totoo yan. Yan yung kasasabi ko lang kanina. So allow me to share with you truths about self-love. Mga pinapaniwalaan kong katotohanan about self-love, okay? One of the things that yung I would like to put here, what are we not supposed to believe? And then I will present here what is it that we're supposed to hold on to. I know that there was a time na naging uso yung phrase na how to be you po. Ay, di ba? How to be you po. But how to be you? How to be you po? I think maraming yan ang tanong madalas eh. How to be you? Personally, ako mismo nakatanggap din ako ng ganyang tanong. Doc, how to be you ba? Well, meron akong isang quote dyan that it's time to give up the idea of who you want to be or who you're supposed to be and start loving who you are. Give up the idea of who you think you're supposed to be. Dapat kasi ganito ako eh. Dapat kasi ito ako. Dapat kasi iyan ako. It's time to give up the idea of who you're supposed to be, and you have to start loving yourself. Because if we are starting to love ourselves the way we are, uh, physically and internally, and I believe that's the start of self-love, because the first love self-love point that I would like you to realize, it's about full acceptance of ourselves. Di ba yan ang pinakamahirap, di ba? Na yung talagang tanggapin natin yung sarili natin, yung buong puso, buong kaluluwa, at tatanggapin natin yung buo nating pagkatao. Hindi yan madali. Hindi yan madali kasi there will always be occasions that are the way we love ourselves is tested. The way we are patient with ourselves, the way we are patient with our process. Yung parang, okay, I want to overcome this, hindi na to nagiging healthy sa akin, pero ngayon kailangan ko tong gawin. It's hard. Hindi siya, hindi siya napakadaling one size fits all, di ba? Hindi yung porke nag-work siya sa akin, mag-work siya sa'yo. No, it's different. But it's actually about full acceptance of ourselves. So, the second thing, okay, the second myth, let's call it myth, ha? The second false thing that I would like you to reflect about is that I need someone to make me happy. I need someone to make me feel loved. Narinig niyo na yan. Parang, I cannot live without a man. I cannot live without someone. I cannot live without a partner. I cannot live without my children. Okay lang, I'll be okay pag nandito sila. Well, there's truth to it. There's truth to it, depending on how it operates in our lives. But what I would like us to really reflect about is that we cannot make it as the sole parameter of how we live our lives. Because the truth is, the second truth that I would like to present is that we are responsible in nurturing our love for ourselves. We are responsible for nurturing our love for ourselves. Hindi job description ng ibang tao na ayusin tayo. Hindi job description ng ibang mahal natin sa buhay na pasayahin tayo lagi. Bonus if they would do it for us. Bonus if they will help nurture us. They will make us feel loved. They make us feel wanted. They make us feel like on top of the world. All of these are bonus. But if we will try to reflect about it, actually, hindi ito sa pagiging makasarili. Pero we are actually responsible for our own love and the nurturance we give. Kaya dito pumapasok yung lagi nating naririnig. I am actually writing a book on that, on self-care, na that responsibility of nurturing the way we love ourselves is actually transposed to how we take care of ourselves. The responsibility of us, our well being, my physical health, my mental health, my emotional health, my spiritual health, and even my relationship health, it's actually all part of self care, but it transposes and it emanates from that deep self love. Yung bang hindi mo lang to ginagawa for the sake of, but you do this kasi mahal mo yung sarili mo and you know that you are in charge. And I know that I need to be responsible because no one will actually do it for us. No one will actually fully 100% perfect the formula of taking care of us and loving ourselves truly. Somebody here saying it has been a Thursday habit of mine drinking coffee while listening to Coffee Break. Thank you. Thank you, Nancy. It's nice to engage with you. And thank you, Joanna, for saying sometimes we're not aware that we don't fully accept who we are. Actually, totoo yan. Babalikan ko yan. Minsan talaga parang hindi natin napapansin kasi we live in this altered reality. What I mean by altered reality, yung kinalakihan natin ng mundo, marami na tayong na-programa dyan. Marami na dyan na implant. Unconscious yan. At kung wala tayong check and balance, di ba? Kumbaga audit, wala tayong way to audit na parang, oy, hindi na healthy yan. Oy, parang hindi na yan yung tamang thinking. If we are not aligning ourselves and we're not realigning ourselves, it's so hard to actually see that, hey, kala ko yung ginagawa ko yun, mahal ko yung sarili ko, yung pala I am just actually hiding behind the idea of self-love. Minsan ganyan. We thought we are actually doing it, but we're actually just hiding under the idea. We're in love with the idea, but we're not really living it out. Am I making sense? Am I making sense here? So the first thing I said, it's actually about the truth about self love is that it should drive us to self acceptance. And the second point is that we are responsible for nurturing our love for ourselves. And that is transposed actually to doing our self care. Do you have any thoughts with what I'm sharing here? Meron ba kayong naisip? Meron kayong reflections? Feel free, friends, to put it in the comment section. So the third, if you see so many people are looking at self love from the parameters of social media, the parameters of affirmation of other people. Let me just quantify. Yung nung maliliit tayo, yung ating sense of self, yung ating self-worth ay actually built on, honestly, by people around us, by our family, teachers, the ones who formed us. But as we move towards our adult age, we need to realize that we need to move out of that the our sense of love for ourselves is built on the affirmation of other people. It's actually the added bonus, because if it will forever be like that, it's not going to be healthy, because some people come and go in our lives. So pag nasaktan tayo, basag tayo. So or if we keep anchoring what we think of, how we think of ourselves to the people around us, all the people that we know. For example, you guys, you're watching me. If there's about 30 to 50 of you and you have an opinion of how am I supposed to be, and then who is the definition of me being Dr. Michelle? Sino ang susundin ko sa inyo? Who am I please? Who am I going to please? So if we are always, some people will forever please other people. They're forever pleasing people, and then they're building self-love as part of the external process. When we were younger, for the young kids, it's actually very much dependent on that. But as we move towards our adolescence, meaning the teenage years natin, and we move towards being more responsible adults, actually, we are actually anchoring it in the internal process. Kaya minsan may nagtanong sa akin in a forum, paano kung wala na akong parents? Paano kung ang dami kong issue sa kanila? Paano kung walang nagsabi sa akin na maganda ko, mahalaga ko, I'm appreciated? Paano kung walang nag-I love you sa akin? Well, friends, you have to build it from the inside out. That's why we cannot be forever dependent on people, because people are not permanent in our lives. We want them to be, but they're not. Sadly, they're not. We have to be actively in the path of building and rebuilding it. Because life will always give us circumstances, situations, fights, conflicts, crisis, sickness, losses, mistakes, insecurities. Laging may package sa buhay na darating sa atin, na yung nasa package hindi natin gusto, at meron namang part na gusto natin. Laging may struggles na posibleng mangyari. So self-love is a process of building and rebuilding ourselves. And how do we do that? Actually, for me, how do we keep building it as an internal process? That main act of learning to sit down and reflect about yourself, that simple act of saying no to everything, that also that conscious awareness na hindi lahat ng ng opinion ng ibang tao papakinggan ko. Hindi lahat ng tao ipiplease ko. Those are the acts that it's actually building on internally who we are. Uh, so we have to realize that actually hindi siya forever about externals, kung anong nakikita. But it's actually, we are building it internally, galing sa loob. Joanna is saying, self-love before meant self-indulgence for me. Other often denying truths about myself and depending on others' approval of self-love. I'm happy with your word, self-love before meant, meaning past. Yes, because we're adults here. uh, you have to allow me to speak in Tagalog na. Utang na loob, matanda na tayo. Matanda na tayo, we're supposed to be mature people, mature individuals that, okay, we get offended by people. Our loved ones may have failed us sometimes, but kaya nga hindi natin forever i-anchor sa kanila. Kasi what if they don't approve? What if they disapprove? But deep inside us, we know the truth. We know that tanggapin ko naman yung sarili ko, pero kung ayaw nyo kong tanggapin, and then so be it. 'Di ba? So, it's actually not denying ourselves, not taking things as is. Taking things as is. Eh, ito talaga yun eh. And learning from life itself. Uh, I bet we are in social media, right? But if we would forever just learn about ourselves through the comments of people, and then it's not going to be an internal process. We are going to be in social media driven image of ourselves. So you have to be actively in the path of building who you are. Hindi pa naman tapos. Hindi pa naman porque 40 ka na dapat okay ka na 100% or mag-aasawa ka na. Huwag ka mag-aasawa ng hindi buong buo yung pagmamahal mo sa sarili mo. Kasi posibleng hindi. Posibleng iba-iba tayo ng timeline doon. So we have to be active. We have to be on our toes. We have to be intentional to keep doing it na wag mawawala yung relasyon natin sa sarili. I have to see it like that. Wag natin walain yung relasyon natin sa sarili. Yung take time for yourself. Take time to take care of you. Okay. So that's the third. And then another one. What do you mean by uh many think that self-love it's just about vanity. It's just about being selfish. It's just a concept. But I would like to tell you that self love is giving yourself an inner compass in life and in your intimate relationships. Bakit may inner compass? In life and in a relationship, pag kilala mo sarili mo, itong trabahong ba to para sa akin? For example, that in your work you are mistreated by people, or parang you feel that the work culture, it's not healthy for you and your values. That inner compass will be the one to nag you na parang you are worth more than this. If their culture will be to work to work so hard, to be in the culture of let's say workaholic yung culture, you're subjected to burnout na walang oras yung tawag ng mga colleagues and boss mo, and it's okay for them, but deep inside you, you know it's not okay for you. Mahal ko yung sarili ko, aalagaan ko yung sarili ko, at alam kong taliwas to sa values ko, and that is your inner compass. And not just with work, but with life and with people around you. Alam ko parang hindi niya ako dapat tinatawag ng ganun eh. Alam ko I'm supposed to be, I'm important eh, pinapahalagan ko yung sarili ko, pero bakit ikaw dinadaan-daanan mo lang ako? Bakit mo ako tinatawag ng names? Or bakit okay lang sa'yo na mapuyat ako? Okay lang sa'yo na magkasakit tayong lahat dito sa bahay? Something like that. So, self-love is giving yourself that inner compass, the setting your tone by how you want to be treated by other people. All the people around you, maybe, kaya minsan, alam nyo, this is tricky because we live in a culture that yung bang I think you would agree with me na parang pag may nangaaway sa'yo, wag ka daw bababa sa level nila. I don't know if you've heard about that na, oh, sinabihan ka ng ganyan. Wag mo na lang patulan kasi alam mo naman, yun lang ang, wag ka nang bababa sa level nila. I remember before when I was in high school, there was a girl in my high school, a friend of a friend, fought me simply because I had a misunderstanding with our common friend. Um, and then, literally, sinugod niya ako, inabangan niya ako outside the church. This is what I recall. Sa dami ng sinabi niya, I just looked at her and said, I don't want to be treated this way, but I'm not going to go down at your level. That's it. Minsan, being quiet, it's not the best solution. This is might be revolutionary for many kasi yung iba talagang tatahimik na lang. But if we keep quiet, how would people know that we're not okay with it? So there are times that really we have to rock the boat. Alam ko, this is medyo not common. But I would like kasi, I believe that this is, it's not too much standards, but I am not happy with the tone of this relationship. I'm not happy with the tone and the way I'm treated. So I am just telling you that this is not how it is. It's not having too much standards, but if you feel that it's really sinasagasaan na yung pagkatao mo and alam mo na parang hindi ka papayag at yung values mo nako-compromise, then it's something that you should reflect about. Self-love is giving yourself that inner compass. Kasi alam natin na mahalaga tayo. Alam natin sa mata ng Diyos, He made us special. We know that we are His beloved. And if we know that, we capture that. We set the tone for how we want to be treated by other people around us, in community, in our family, lalo na dyan, and even in social media. Parang bakit ka papatawag ng kaya yung minsan parang wag na lang daw patulan. I've seen some celebrities sabihin, wag na lang patulan yung bashers. That's true. But I like it also na may mga celebrity na pumapatol sa basher to put them in their place. For me, looking at this, it's actually declaring to the world that you don't treat me that way because you just want it. I'm not allowing you to do that. Parang trespassing ka. Hindi ka na pwedeng pumasok. Diyan ka lang. I think totoo yan, di ba? We have to discern the difference between choosing your battle and choosing to assert yourself. That's true. Some battles are not worth fighting about, but some situations we need to draw the line and we need to put people in their place. Bakit? Because our self-love will be our inner compass in life and our relationship, and it sets the tone on how we want to be treated by others. Right? Bakit ganon, sis? Bakit ganon, Doc Itchel? Because we know that a healthy self-love. Okay, some people think that kung mahal nila yung sarili nila and they have healthy self-love, they thought that things will be okay. They thought maybe things will be perfect, right? Parang, ay, okay na lahat, okay na yan, things will be perfect. I beg to disagree kasi hindi porke mahal mo yung sarili mo, wala nang struggle. It doesn't end with that. It's actually an ongoing process. Hindi porke meron ka ng self-love in your 20s, automatic yan makikerry over. Posible, oo. Kasi the concept has been there. But let me tell you na nagbabago yung buhay. Weather yan. Iba yung weather ngayon, iba yung weather dati, iba yung circumstances ngayon, iba yung circumstances dati, and things will not complete us. Unang-una, things will not complete us. Circumstances in life, ay, okay na ako pag nakakuha ko ng ganitong position at work. Okay na ako pag may PhD na ako, okay na ako. Oh, with all honesty, hindi ko talaga alam. One time when I was finishing my dissertation, my daughter really asked me, Mom, what happens to you after your PhD? Um, you know, I went blank. I really went blank. Kasi sabi ko, shucks, oo nga no. Alam ko kung bakit ko to kinuha. I have my reasons for taking it. But what happens after? Will I be a complete person? Will it feel my self-love? Will it feel my affirmation for myself? It won't. It's not supposed to be the quantifying measure of how I love myself. So sabi ko, parang, I don't know anak. I don't know yet. The Lord knows. Why? Because if we, I believe that healthy sense of self-love should not be dependent on external things. Healthy self-love, that's the truth that I'm telling here, the last point, does not mean things will be perfect. Hindi magiging perfect yung relasyon, hindi magiging perfect yung career, hindi magiging perfect lahat sa buhay mo. Thus, our completeness is not depend if we have a healthy sense of self-love. Our completeness, it's not dependent on things. It's not dependent on titles. It's not dependent on achievement. It's not even dependent on sino ang follower natin and how many followers that we have. Our completeness and our sense of self-love is actually to be able to to give glory to the one who made us, to give glory to God. We complete our love for ourselves with the love of God. That's the completeness, I believe. Kasi no amount of material things, no amount of worldly things and titles can actually fill us, can actually complete us. The completeness can only be found in a good relationship with the Lord. And kahit na even if we go to other religion, I believe that that's the anchor of what if of the completeness, or they call it sometimes the fullness of life. 'Di ba? We complete our love for ourselves with the love of our maker. That's the truth that nobody can take away from us. I think it that if we recall when we were, let's talk about this. This is a very good conversation. When we were in high school, ano yun sa tingin mong makakapuno ng pag-ibig mo sa sarili mo? This is interesting to know. When we were in high school, what is it that you thought would help you complete your love for yourself? I'll wait for your answers. Sa tingin nyo, when we were younger, what is it that we thought would complete our relationship with ourselves? I think one of them is to have a degree, to graduate from college, na parang mag-iiba yung tingin natin sa sarili natin and self-image natin. And then that adds up doon sa magkaroon tayo ng career na maganda, makapagtrabaho sa kilalang kilalang workplace, 'di ba? Tama, achievements. When we're able to achieve the degree, ano yung nakakala natin will give us a sense of fulfillment. Hindi ba getting married or relationship? Na parang, ay, pag nagka-boyfriend ako, ay, pag nagka-asawa ako, ay, parang okay na ako. Ay, rather yan. Yan. Hi, Joey. That Joanna said achievements. Noreen. Hello, Noreen. Academic recognition. Joey. Affirmation of friends and family. Totoo yan lahat. Totoo yan lahat. But, di ba pa sorry, padami ng padami, pakomplikado ng pakomplikado, and at the same time, parang di naman mauubos. Tapos parang 'pag na-achieve na natin yon, parang hindi pala. Ay, akala ko kasi, hindi pala. Akala ko 'pag nagkaroon na tayo ng pamilya, ay 'pag nagkaanak ako, okay na ako, buo na ako. Hindi rin pala. Nakakapagod din, 'di ba? Marami rin challenges, mas marami pa kaysa dati. And then 'pag nag-work na tayo, parang will it be di natatapos, parang laging may kulang. Tama, parang di pa pala yun. Yes, totoo yan, friends. Kaya tingnan nyo, we are forever in search of what will fill us. So sige, dagdagan natin. So kung natapos tayo sa pag-aasawa, akala natin yun na. Pag nagkaanak tayo, pag na-promote tayo, ayan, pag na-promote tayo. Kaya sorry ha, minsan kasi meron akong pagkamaldita na minsan pag ako mismo nag interacting and then some friends in my social media feed, tapos makikita ko na parang ano kayang hinahanap niya sa sarili niya ngayon. Parang at my age, talagang kailangan ganito yung post niya. Post and post. Get it? Post and post. So, tama, I like that, Joanna. When we have kids, minsan we anchor our fulfillment in our kids' well-being. Totoo. And our kids' achievements. Yun yung sinasabi ko, friends. Kaya, minsan, meron mga age natin, in our 30s and 40s, they're still looking for themselves. Why? Because their sense of how they love themselves is actually on the affirmation of others, in the achievement that they connect themselves with, and even in the role that they play in their lives. It's not about their own uniqueness. It's not about how they are, how they're accepting of themselves, no ifs, no buts. So I don't know, but nararamdaman ko naman ang tao na parang sa social media makikita mo dyan yung narratives na tinatawag. Makikita mo dyan yung dating ng isang tao kung sa tingin mo na parang, is this person looking for attention externally? Or this person is just showing that mahal ko yung sarili ko and this is it. If you if you if you if you like them, good. If you don't, it's okay. It's their way of expressing. So, Noreen, dumaan ako dyan. Parang trophy ang anak ko, but that's wrong, unfair for the kids. So, totoo yan. Let me capture that. I would like to tell you that's why many people at our age, at my age, when they're in 40s, when their kids are trying to have a life of their own, their world crumbles down because their sense of fulfillment and their sense of love for themselves is dependent and anchored on being a mother. Sadly, oo, totoo yun. Dun sa fulfillment ng anak niya. Kaya parang ginagawa nilang mundo yung anak nila. Walang masama na mahalin ng sobra yung mga anak natin. But there will come a point that they have a life of their own. Walang masama na iikot natin yung buhay natin sa pamilya natin. But there might be a time that this family might undergo pressure. And if we put all our effort, our eggs and energy in one basket, if this basket crumble, the whole of us crumble. So if you look at it, really, if we look at self-love in the context of everything external to us, then it's not going to be healthy. It may be good, but it's not going to be healthy. It's not actually the fullness and the completeness of our love. Kaya at the bottom of it all, pag ikutin mo man lahat, kung wala tayong relasyon sa sarili at ang sarili natin hindi natin i-connect sa relasyon natin kay Lord, sa Diyos, kung ano man ang ating religion, friends, self-love is about our relationship with ourself and our God, who is love. I put that in my book, The Beauty of 40, Unwrapping the Gift of Midlife, because that's a reason why so many midlife people, either women or men, their world becomes so different because it's anchored on the external. The way they look at themselves, their achievement, it's actually dependent on the externals. Kaya hindi nila ma-let go yung mga bagay na dapat ma-let go. The imaginary life or maybe the ideal life that they would like to have. They cannot let go of a dream. They cannot let go of their kids. They cannot let go of their old ways simply because doon nila inangkor na doon lang sila makakakuha ng totoong fulfillment. But in reality, hanap tayo ng hahanap eh. Hahanap tayo ng hahanap. Self-love is about our relationship. Can you repeat that with me? Self-love is about our relationship with ourself and our God who is love. Make sense? Self-love is our relationship with ourself and our God who is love. And that's so true. Joey, I like your question. What if, Doc Itchel, what if you can't help but to compare yourself to others? Tingnan mo rin, this will be a good reflection. Bakit mo laging kinukumpara yung sarili mo sa iba? Well, we cannot be fully 100% say na, ay, hindi ko naman kinukumpara. Huwag kayong mag-alala, nagkukumpara rin ako sarili ko sa iba. Minsan meron tayong nagging feeling. Meron tayong humanly tendency na parang, shucks, nangyari na to sa kanya. Ako parang wala pa. But that conscious, capture this, conscious awareness na parang, di yan healthy. O nga no, tingnan mo, baka you are being fixated with what they have. So, you look at your lack. And I would like, baligtarin natin. Maybe it's time to look more for what you have and appreciate it. So, how do we deal with it? When you start comparing yourself with others, always look for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hanggang sa dumami, something that you have in you that you can do well. Hindi naman hindi naman to parang pampalubag loob. No, you start affirming yourself. It's okay. You are different. Yan. You are unique. May iba kang kakayahan than her. Hindi yan ang talento mo. Hindi yan ang mission mo sa buhay. Hindi yan ang timeline mo. Hindi yan ang path mo. Pero alam mo, at the bottom of it all, it's actually how we appreciate the person that God made us to be. That's the bottom line of self-love that I would like us to appreciate for this afternoon. How? How can we restore our self-love? Let me answer with a question. How do you appreciate? What do you appreciate with that person that God made you to be? Make sense? Self-love gives us more clarity with God's direction. As I said earlier, it's an inner compass. Kung mahal natin sarili natin, we know I need to nourish my relationship with you. Kahit na minsan it's so hard to pray. Kahit na minsan we're not perfectly praying, we're not perfectly connecting with God. Pero alam ko, I still need Lord to think about you, to get to know you more, to hear you, more of you in my life, and to nourish my relationship with you. And we know when we nourish our relationship with God, we take care of ourselves the way He takes care of us. Kasi alam natin that mahal niya tayo eh. Bakit natin papabayaan yung sarili natin? And when that's clear, God's direction is for us is to love ourselves because He loves us. When we have that, I am at your disposal, I know you love me, I'll take care of myself. When He takes care of, when we take care of ourselves, we take care of the person that we are. We take care of the work that He asked us to do. The more of us is given to the other people, to other people. Kaya yun yung sinasabi ko nag-overflow. Meron tayong, alam na natin yung concept na mahal ako ni Lord. At kung mahal tayo ni Lord, hindi natin sabihin na Lord, bahala ka na sa lahat. No, alam ko naman, friends. Nasa Diyos ang awa, nasa tao ang gawa. It's too much to ask the Lord, bahala ka na sa akin. Hindi. Kailangan pareho tayong may effort. Lugi naman si Lord lagi na parang kakain ka ng junk food, kakain ka ng unhealthy, tapos magdadasal ka, Lord, bless my health. Hindi ka matutulog ng tama, hindi ka kakain ng tama, at hindi ka mag-exercise, sasabihin mo, Lord, wag po ako magkasakit kasi po mababa resistensya ko. Eh bakit hindi mo inalagaan at minahal yung sarili mo? People are calling you bad. People are calling you names. Hindi ka umiimik. And then sasabihin mo, Lord, bahala ka sa kanila. Hindi nila ako tinuturing ng magaling. But I think God gave us more than that. He gave us the free will. He gave us a lot of capacity because He knows that I would like to use you for my mission. So go and love yourself. Because if we love ourselves the way God loves us, it's so clear. It gives us clarity. He gives us the direction and He gives us the mission. Clarity, life direction, and mission. The direction how to love ourselves, to love our life, and to love other people. And He gives us the mission. He gives us the mission na, ito, this stage in your life, alagaan mong pamilya mo. This stage in your life, go and flourish in your career. O ang mission mo ngayon sa community mo, at this stage in your life, dito ka. Because the mission iba-iba rin yan depending on the season. So I think that if we only look at self-love in the eyes of social media and in the eyes of people around us, and then it will be just mababaw, shallow, and skin deep. But if we look at self love the way that because I am God's beloved and He loves me, it's going to be very meaningful, it's going to be very purposeful, and more importantly, may lalim. Kasi yung meaning, it's connected to the meaning giver, meaning the Lord of our lives. And the meaning of all this, it's actually to be His beloved sons and daughter and to do what we need to do in our lives. Ang lalim, no? But Dok, ang lalim naman yan. Ang lalim naman na explanation mo. Ayoko na kasi ng masyadong mababaw kasi we're old enough and we're maturing enough here in Coffee Break to be able to just realize na minsan kailangan natin yung mga malalim na usapan. So friends, I would like to go back to the things that I shared with you. The things that you should reflect about self-love. One, it's about full acceptance of yourself. The second, because we love ourselves, we are responsible for nurturing that love that we have. We are in charge of our well-being. The third, it's an internal process. It's built from the inside out, and we have to be active, hindi passive, in building and rebuilding it. And then it's not about vanity. It's about a a healthy love for self so that we can overflow to other people. And self-love is giving yourself the inner compass in life and our intimate relationship. And the last point, most importantly, a healthy self-love does not mean things will be perfect, because we are complete and we are perfected by the love that the Lord has for us. Ayan ang isang malalim, makapagdamdaming episode on restoring your self-love. I hope that this episode has helped you. Friends, reflect on your life. Reflect about this episode. Reflect about the things I shared here and how are you transposing this in your life. Totoong ganyang kalalim ang self-love. And I hope that you find this meaningful, you find this conversation significant, and if this has blessed you, share this to family and friends. And if it has blessed you, I hope that you can bless me back by sending your love, sending your prayer, and giving the gift called stars here at Coffee Break. We it here in Facebook Live, or you can actually ask for my GCash details. Just send us an email. So that's about Coffee Break for this week. If you have any new insights, if you have suggestions on topics, if you have things that you would like to ask, just shoot us an email or put it here at the comment section. This is Dr. Michelle Alignay. I enjoy having coffee with you here at Coffee Break with Dr. Michelle, and munching and sitting down with my favorite topic, that it's about restoring your self-love. Friends, you are worth more than how you think you are. So please love yourself the way God loves you. God bless us here at Coffee Break.